reality ready? Is Courtney ever going to be reality ready to understand why this has all happened to her? Is Colt ever going to be reality ready to recognize the way he treats women is just disgusting? It's unnecessary. It's not needed. And also, before we begin the video, are you ever going to be reality ready to recognize that you need to click on the hype button, please, as well as also like button as well, and subscribe. Okay, come on now, let's not waste time, but let's dive in and see what's going on here.
And I'm seeing like he's messaging all these other women on social media, and then he's like messaging this other girl like, I love you, I want you, like they're planning to meet each other, like you're homeless, you're...
It's crazy because when you go through someone's phone and then you discover this person's actually not only texting someone else, but they've got a whole plan like it's a heist. Crazy business.
Jobless, like you have erectile dysfunction, you have a broken leg, like I'm loving you, but you're telling another girl you love her, and like, yeah. Like the audacity, you're planning to go be with this other woman, are you kidding me?
You know, the thing that I really hope that Courtney can take from this is do not date a man based on his potential. This is something that all women should know. If you are trying to date a man based on his potential, understand this. The potential that you see in him, he's only going to do it if he sees it himself. He's not going to do it just because you see it in him. Now, there's a fine line between dating a man with potential compared to a man that's already on the journey. So if you meet a man and he says, listen, babe, so right now, I'm actually about to start a business. I've got these things planned out. All I've got to do is go to the bank or go to this place, and that's what I'm going to do. You see, if he's already on that journey where he's already planned it, or he's already just opened the first door, listen, and you see potential, you're like, you know what, I can see this man going far. And you know what, I want to be the kind of woman that's going to support my man, back my man, and be there for him to go off and do what he wants to do. That's lovely. You can do that. But you see, if you meet a man and he says to you, yeah, so, you know, I've been thinking about doing this thing for a while. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm definitely going to be looking to go and apply for that job. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing... Listen, I'm going to tell you this now. This man is literally selling you dreams. He's selling you something that he hasn't even started yet. Something that he doesn't even plan on starting. He just wants to appear as if he's a man with ideas. Now, also, let me give you another example just so we can stay in context of the actual situation here. What potential did she see in Colt? She saw potential in a man that she believed would actually become loyal to her. A man that was actually going to eventually sleep with her. A man that she thought eventually was going to get up, stop needing her as a caregiver, and he was going to go and just get a job. That's what she saw in this man. That's the potential that she saw. I'm not going to lie to you. If that's the type of potential that you see in someone, in the man or woman that you want to be with, then really and truly, you are an issue to yourself. Because all of those things are the bare minimum. If somebody doesn't come into your life already having a job secured, doesn't really matter the job necessarily, but just having a full-time job secured, you know, able to already pay his own way, knows how to manage his own money, and also on top of that, knows how to treat a woman without a history of infidelity. Or even if he has got a history of infidelity, he's somebody that clearly has learnt from it. That's possible for some, impossible for others, but you know, either way, these things are the bare minimum foundation amongst other bare minimums that you should already not even look in someone, that someone should just have before you even enter a relationship with them. But you see Courtney now. A woman that has always spoke about how she wants a man with money, but that's how her mum raised her, ends up going for a man that had none of those things. That's just diabolical behavior. But let's dive in. Let's continue.
Left. Eventually, I noticed my phone wasn't there, so I got in my trusty walk. My phone tells me to get out. Courtney gracefully put all my stuff on the side of the road, my luggage, my wheelchair, my walker, and
he says this as if we are supposed to feel sorry for him. What did you think was going to happen? I'm happy that's what happened. I would have been pissed if that didn't happen. Diabolical.
Colt was cheating on me the entire time. Colt was exactly who everybody said he was. Videos of him jerking off from my house. Like, are you kidding me? I want to put on lashes or like try to...
So this man was sending videos of himself pleasuring himself to other women. The same video that he even sent to Courtney. Now, that's the thing that I did find quite interesting. Why was he sending you videos? You live together, do you not? It's crazy, isn't it? So this man was in a position where he was able to send you videos of himself playing himself, but yet when it came to actually playing with you, he couldn't do it. There's something about that that's quite interesting, to be fair. Is he one of these people that only gets off the image of a woman, so therefore he goes and plays with himself and then sends it to them? I don't know, but something is very off-key with that statement, if you ask me. Very, very off-key, because you're living with her, okay? But let's dive in. Let's see what Courtney has to say here.
Look cute and like, look, this is what you missed out on. But then I feel like I've just been crying. So it's like, I don't even know if they'll stay on.
You know, this whole thing about, let me look cute. I'm gonna go see my ex that ain't shit. Let me just make sure I do myself up, get the makeup ready, get the eyelashes done, get the lipstick looking good. Let me wear a nice dress or a nice outfit that's gonna show off, assets that I love about myself that I know that he's gonna want. I mean, what are you trying to achieve in that situation? You're trying to show a man what he's missing out on. I mean, to be fair, the man can do exactly the same thing. He can turn up looking dapper, looking no one is how you like it. But you know what the issue is when people do this? It is creating and making things worse. You're put in a situation. Look at it this way. If you then go see that person and then they find a way to worm their way out of the issues that's happened, what's going to happen? You're going to end up sleeping with that person again. And is that really going to fix the issues that you have of why you're broken up in the first place? Why you're in this situation in the first place? No. But I get it. People just want to show someone just so you know, this is what you're missing out on. And to be fair, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But don't do it and end up in the same bed as that person. That's all I want to say. Because really and truly, let's put it this way. You turn up looking the way you're looking. If a man's very good with the tongue, very good with talking, and he sees how good you're looking, he's going to be thinking about how he's going to make that whole conversation of you two reconciling or that conversation where you're meeting up again for whatever reason, he's making sure everything that comes out of his mouth is leading you both into the bedroom. Without a shadow of a doubt. Especially if he turns up as well looking good. He turns up with the beard nice, the haircut nice, okay? Whatever top he's wearing is nice and fitted, however you like it. V-neck, round neck, turtleneck. Oh, turtleneck's the worst. Can't stand that. But anyway. Understand the position you're putting yourself in. So go into that position strong that you're not going to walk away with that person back in your bed. That's what I want to say. But either way, though, when it comes to Courtney now, this man didn't even sleep with you. So why the hell is he really going to care about you looking good? How many times have you turned up and you've looked good in front of this man and he still has not slept with you? So what difference would it make now? So really and truly, this effort that she's making is actually really pointless.
Like when we were best friends in Mexico and like everything that we went through in Mexico. And like how did we end up here? Like why wasn't I enough for him? Like why wasn't he happy? Showed him unconditional love and he showed me unconditional.
Great.
All right, cool. Let's make this abundantly clear. Courtney's whole experience has nothing to do with not being enough. Nothing to do with not being good enough. No. Her whole experience with Colt was simply one simple thing. You was just a stepping stone. Okay? You was just a motel. Not even a hotel. Okay? Not even an Airbnb. You was just, but then again, maybe there's some nice motels. I mean, I've never stayed in ones. I'm in the UK. But anyway, based on how they project it on TV, motels at the lowest part of like the food chain. Actually, no, hostel. You was a hostel for this man. That's what you was. You was a hostel. Okay? Simply because he just needed somewhere to stay. And he just needed someone to look after. Now, this is why it's a motel business. Also, don't look after you. See, yes, this is a motel. That's all you was to him. Nothing else but that. Nothing to do with whether you was good enough for him or not. He didn't care about that. Because his agenda was never about you being good enough for him. His agenda was, I've got a woman in Brazil already waiting for me, but I just can't get there right now because I just messed up my foot in Mexico. But you're going to look after me for the time being. So why not? Getting a free ride in a fancy car. If you know, you know. So sometimes you have to understand something, ladies, as well as men. When things don't work out with somebody, it's not because you wasn't good enough. It's not because you wasn't enough. It may just because you're just a pit stop in that person's life. Just a motel. Simply, that's what you are. How you find out, I guess it depends on the situation to figure it out. But that's exactly what went down with these two. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because someone's life, someone's feelings were played with. But do I feel sorry for Courtney?
You look really pretty. That's new. All right. But a lot happened at once. My whole life changed. I met you, broke my leg, moved in with you, married or something. All of
Look at this guy. My life changed, you know, met with you, blah, 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 blah. But then things just started moving a bit too fast for me. When you hear lines like these, moving too fast does not mean it equals infidelity. Whether Courtney had been moving too fast or not, his actions would have been the same.
a sudden, it's just a lot.
Why would you do that to me? Because you don't love or care about me. You only care about yourself and your like, you have erectile dysfunction, you can't walk, you're homeless, you're jobless, and you're still cheating on me in my house. Like, the level of disrespect is insane. I thought you were my best friend, but I feel all of it's just a lie.
You were never his best friend. Never his best friend. It's a shame because, you know, she probably put a whole lot into this relationship. Even her parents did, because her parents accepted this man into your home. Colt is definitely one of those people that will never learn from his behavior. He's always going to be this way. Colt is never going to be reality ready to understand that his actions are trash. Courtney, on the other hand, I don't know if she's ever going to be reality ready to understand the type of man that she actually wants and needs in her life. Because she went from two extremes to another. She went from, I want a man who's got money, to then a man that has nothing. She needs to find that midpoint. And maybe in that midpoint, she can find the man that she needs for her life, you know. But at the same time, due to the trauma that she's been through now with her relationships, she may even have to seek therapy first before she become reality ready to actually enter a relationship that's going to be healthy for her. This is where I want to know. Let me know. Do you think either one of these two will ever become reality ready? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hype the video. But now we're going to dive into the next one.
If I brought home a date and her googly mooglies were all out and my mom saw that, she'd say, that's not the one for you. That's not appropriate. But then here she goes with her junga all out and it's supposed to be fine.
I feel like this is something that actually needs to be spoken about. You know, as kids, we experience our parents tell us certain things. But then in the same topic, the same context, we then experience our parents being hypocritical. And this is something that has to be spoken about because you see, if you're a parent and you're telling your son, you're telling your daughter, this person is not good for you for said reasons, and then you just happen to bring round someone that you literally warned them from like to you, that's not good. Okay, because what you're doing in that moment in time is that you are losing the trust, the respect from your child. Because they look at you, they're side-eyeing you, thinking, didn't she? Didn't he? So it's okay for you, but not for me, no? And this is something that can definitely build a relationship between the mother and father, or the mother and child, or the father and child, in a way that isn't healthy. So all I want to say is please be aware that when you tell your child something regarding another person, make sure that you do not become a hypocrite, because when you do that, you are losing respect from your child. I just want to put that out there, okay? So please make sure you are reality ready to recognize these things. It'd be a shame if he wasn't. But let's get into it.
One thing right here on me.
He's a short king.
5'8" and I'm 5'9". And you know how I am about the height thing. That's like my thing,
I like
you
it
know?
because it goes back.
55 years of age, ladies and gentlemen, and Kimberly is still talking about height. When do people grow up? It's crazy because if people paid attention a lot, people like Kimberly, you will notice that sometimes when you are looking at certain celebrities, or when you're looking at people around you, that doesn't have to be your friends or your family, but just people you see on a day-to-day basis, you will see that there are some women out there who are with men that are either the same height or men that are slightly shorter. And you will notice that those people have been in a very long-term relationship. Their relationship is very stable, but I have to make this abundantly clear. When a woman finds a man that is either the same height as her or shorter than her, but he does not project small man syndrome, that man is a man that you're missing out on if you don't give him a chance because of his height. Because that's a man that is confident with himself. That's a man that is a winner. Okay? And that's a man that goes to places. But hey, you want to rule him out because you want a guy that's taller. What, a guy that's taller but doesn't actually want to be with you? A guy that's taller that may even be jobless? A guy that's taller but may not actually even back you up in any situation that you need him to be masculine to step up? So point being is that height doesn't mean a single goddamn thing. What matters is the person. Do you see what I'm saying? Because there are men out there that are tall, ain't shit. There's men out there that are short, ain't shit. But then there's men out there, and to be fair, the whole short word is really, it shouldn't even be used. There's men that are just average height, that they're just super cool. There's men that are tall that are super cool. Either way, height is just whatever. Okay, so end of the day, 55 years of age, and you're talking about men being short. I'm sorry, but I didn't realize that the options of men out here was like crazy. I didn't realize her DMs was filled with good men that actually want her for good reasons. I didn't realize when she left the house, all these tall men are like, oh my god, it's Kimberly. How you doing, baby girl? Kimberly, when are you gonna give me a chance? No, that doesn't happen, does it? You leave your house and nobody bloody notices you. Come on now. It's diabolical. Honestly, like, this height thing is crazy.
God, I'm right on him like this. So when I meet him, I'm like, what's up, little man?
No, you can't say that. It'd be so much.
So Jamal believes because he's taller, it means you have an advantage over a short man. That is crazy work. Absolutely crazy work. Listen, you know, I'm just going to speak from my own experiences as myself, okay, right? I'm not the tallest of people, you know what I mean? But I will say this now. Back when I was a teenager and I would get into fights with whoever I was getting into, I've never had a fight with anybody my height. Everybody was always taller than me. And you know what? I was always good. Probably not everyone, but I was good in a lot of those altercations, you see what I'm saying? So Jamal can talk about being tall, but tall doesn't mean a single thing if you don't know how to actually fight. And if you're dealing with a short, more an average-looking dude who can actually fight, trust me, your height doesn't mean anything. In fact, I'm looking at your height, but hold on a minute. Oops! Oh, I just kicked your kneecap. Damn, you didn't see that coming, did you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, you're taller than me. Okay. Whew. Oh wait, you didn't see that? You didn't see that to the low blow? Okay. No worries. You know what I mean? So. Again, it depends on who you're fighting, though. You know what I mean? But interesting. But that's also another good point there, women. Just because a man is tall, it doesn't technically mean that he's going to be good at defending you if that ever happens, which in reality, in a relationship, no man should ever be put in a position where he has to physically defend his woman. And when I say that, what I mean is no man should ever put himself in that position, or no woman should ever put him in that position, vice versa. Do you see what I'm saying? But either way, though, I know some women believe that a tall man is protective. Yeah, okay. If you say so. It's subjective for everyone, isn't it?
It's fun. If Joe and I have great chemistry, I'm not going to let the height thing like get in the way. You know, I mean, I feel I can let that one go. I really appreciate the fact that Joe put so much thought into this date and brought the little cameras. But right now, I'm just getting like friend vibes.
So let me make this clear. This man has gone in the way. He's definitely put on a nice date. Okay, simple date, and you're getting friend vibes. We're gonna dive into that.
There's no like sexual tension. Ooh, I can't wait to see what they got going on, but I'm just not feeling that right now.
Let's talk about that sexual tension, friend vibes, sexual tension. You know, Kimberly is somebody that is used to going out on dates, as if she's ever been on dates, to be fair. But when she ever has been, I guess, she's used to going on dates with men that are, let's say, bad boys, right? She's used to going on dates with men that don't actually want to be in a relationship. She's used to going on dates with men that just want to use her for her money, to use her for other things, as well as also, I guess, if she's lucky, sometimes even intimacy, right? Because we saw what went down with her and Usman. She had to beg him just to sleep with her. So, again, she's somebody that has always presented herself in a very thirsty way. So, she's always gone for men that are willing to prey on that. Now, she believes that because she's changed her ways and she's not come across thirsty, that, you know, she's now going to attract a different type of man. That is not what's happening here, okay? If Kimberly was to come across the typical man that she's always attracted to, this whole act of her being a new person who's stronger, who doesn't necessarily present themselves like needy and whatnot, that person would come back in within a flash. It's like they say to all the men nowadays, the woman that you are putting so much effort in by taking out on multiple dates and spending all of this money, understand there's another man that is sleeping right now for free. Okay, so bear in mind, if Kimberly was to come across a tall man that she was attracted to, this whole date thing wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't even matter what the date was even about. She already be like, ugh. Do you see what I'm saying? So more of the situation is here. She's now in a situation where she's experiencing a good man, okay? A man that hasn't got intentions of wanting to just sleep with her. She's experiencing a man that wants to actually get to know who she is, because he needs to know if she's going to be the right woman to fit his life. This isn't about just her, is it now? It's not just about Kimberly. She's looking at it from one perspective, which is fine, because that's how we all look at life. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But the point that I'm making is, when you're dealing with a nice guy, this is what's going to happen. On the first date, he's going to treat the first date as if you two are just good friends, or you two are just new friends who are getting to know each other. He's not going to try and make advances on you. He's going to keep it respectful. He's going to pick up the vibe that he gets from you. Are you somebody that he can make laugh? Do you make him laugh back? Okay. Are you the kind of person that respects yourself in this way, blah, blah? He's trying to vet. He's trying to court. This is why it's important that if you go on a date with someone unfamiliar, but who you're not used to, but is a good person to you, all I'm saying is that you are not wasting your time by going on a second date, because the second date is when he really shows his new part of him. So the first part is getting to know you. The second part is now him trying to be a bit more forward, you know, trying to put in that little bit of more of the flirty effort. Because in the first one, he's just trying to scare you away. He's just trying to keep you around. The second one is when he turns it up. Sometimes the third, but I always say give it the first. But two, please. But I will say this though. Sometimes a good guy can go into a first date with the same intentions, but if the vibe is just hitting hard, where you're both laughing, you're giggling, you're smiling, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, you're just organically coming closer together, and then maybe you do kiss or whatever, that's fine. But it's an organic thing that's happened because a good guy has come in and he just wants to vibe, but then all of a sudden you two just end up just having this crazy banter, and that happens, which is completely fine. Kimberly, on the other hand, doesn't know the bloody difference. So now let's get into it.
But I also think I have so much going on with my family that I just can't waste time on something that I know is not going to work. Thank you for this. This was amazing. Thank you. Thank you for joining. So this is probably going to be our first and last date.
You know what? Listen, respectfully, she's just saved this man wasting his own time, which is good. And at the same time, she's potentially saved herself wasting time, but it's a shame because really and truly, because she's a new person now who isn't trying to feed herself to men as this vulnerable person anymore, well, really and truly, you should be giving this man a second date, because literally this is the first time we've seen her go on a date with somebody who hasn't said to her, can we just be friends with benefits? Or hasn't said to her, oh, you're just a super fan. Or hasn't been like, oh, do you know what the funny thing is? This proves my point. When she first met Usman gave her the distant approach for the longest time possible. Kept her at arm's length, told her, no, we have to take this slowly. But she wasn't willing to quit. Why? Because he was a man that she wanted based on height and whatever else. But this man here, but this is a nice guy. She's like, nah, we're good. It's a shame. It's a shame. Anyway, with that being said, let's the question is, do you think Kimberly will ever be reality ready to really recognize herself? Me? I don't think so. But anyway, if you haven't not hyped the video just yet, please do hype the video. That would be great. Now we're going to move on to the next one. And this one here is all about Liz. My apologies, I froze there.
A year ago, I found out that I had ovarian cancer when I miscarried a baby.
I don't know if I forgot this information, but I wasn't aware that she'd actually miscarried a baby. Did everybody know this and I just didn't know this? But let's continue. Please do let me know.
I passed really hard because that's what I thought I was going to build a relationship with on the whole journey by myself of being sick. And
you know, first and foremost, this is a big thing for Liz to do, to come out and tell a man, like literally, I think this is the first, I think the second or third date. But I like that. I respect that. Liz is somebody that is definitely reality ready. Somebody that's recognizing that, listen, if I'm going to go into something with someone that I can see myself actually wanting to be with, I've got to come clean now. How many times do we see so many people on the show, especially people like Lisa currently, who will not tell you the truth and will hold back until like the last minute and then have a meltdown that you can't handle it. But Liz was like, nah. If something's going to come out of this that's going to be good with this guy, I need to be upfront about it from the get-go. Let me stop wasting time, okay? And she knows that she's also somebody that she clearly falls fast. She likes fast. And if she's going to do that with him, then she's got to keep it 100. So to be honest with you, shout out to her on that one for keeping it 100. All right, that's all I wanted to add for her, you know, because that's a rare thing that we see in the 90-day world. But hey, now we're going to dive into Sophie and, well, Sophie and Liz, for that matter, to be fair, as we witness Sophie be an absolute mean girl.
I'm not coming in here to have drama, to fight, for doing anything. I can be dead in 2 years. Do you think I want to come here realistically and have this? No. Let me go check her.
This really bothered me. I wonder if it bothered you, lovely folks. Liz literally sat there and just said that I may not even be here in the next 2 years. I didn't come here for the drama. And Julia's response is, let me just go and check on Sophie. I'm not saying that Sophie doesn't need someone to go check on her. But it was a lack of sympathy, the lack of empathy, just the lack of care of those words. Like, maybe they're just not friends. But even if they're not, I feel like in that situation, it would have been warranted to say to her, you know what, listen, I hear what you're saying, and I completely get it. You came here to just have a good time. You didn't come in for drama. You've obviously had a conversation with Pedro. Pedro is then obviously taken in one way. He's then went and told Sophie this. And honestly, I can fully understand why you wouldn't want this drama. But let me just go speak to Sophie. Let me go check on her, and let's see if I can talk to her. Do you see what I'm saying? At least make Liz feel as if she's not alone. You're making her feel like she's alone right now. She came on this trip with you three girls. With there's three of you girls who came on this trip together. And this is, come on now, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I just feel like she could at least said that. Because don't get me wrong, Julia has tried to be immediate. She has tried, when she does speak, she does try and say, hold on a minute, like, just give her the benefit of the doubt. I know she's not against Liz, but in this situation, she could at least comfort Liz, rather than just getting up and disappearing. The woman is crying, for goodness sake. She's breaking down, for goodness sake. And also on top of that, some of the things that I found out, which you will find out in another video regarding Liz and her trip to Mexico, you understand why, more than ever, I'm actually pressing this matter so much. Because, boy, what she had to go through just to get to Mexico, or Mexico, is crazy. But we'll get to that in a different video. But let's dive in here.
Liz, go home. Bye, adios. Home, Liz. I didn't seem like Sophie's talking to someone else or not interested. I never even said that to Pedro. Pedro told me she's interested.
The fact that Sophie feels comfortable enough to be screaming in the streets, oh, bye, Liz, oh, da-da-da. Like, what's wrong with you? I mean, listen, Sophie's a product of her mother, right? She hasn't been raised right. She's been raised trashy. She's the kind of girl in the UK, considering that she's British, unfortunately. She's the kind of person that, you know, if most of us men see her in the UK, we're like, yeah, no, that's the girl that you stay away from. We don't care how good she looks, we stay away from her. Because she's way too problematic.
Most snakiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Bye, Liz. This is why she dates people like Ed, because she's a horrible person. She is the most...
Interesting. So she dates people like Ed because she's a horrible person. The level of spitefulness. There's no need for it. But this is the thing you see. So Sophie's more than happy to call other people names. To insult other people that there's no tomorrow. But when it comes to herself, oh, no, no, no. Sophie can never be reality ready with her own actions. But, hold that thought.
Liz.
I know it's not all Liz's fault, like I could have absolutely responded better, but I get triggered when I feel dismissed. I spent 6 years in a relationship not having my feelings validated, so...
This is why I said hold that thought, you see. Rob said something on Between the Sheets not long ago. He said the issue with Sophie is that she is somebody that brings trauma from previous relationship into the new one. She will always treat the new guy based on the old person. She never heals herself. She just likes to carry that trauma baggage and loads it onto the next person, which is so unfortunate. So in this situation, she recognizes that she was in the wrong, okay, but then decides to justify why she was in the wrong, but then justifies her actions. Don't get me wrong, there's a fine line between someone recognizing that they're in the wrong and then explaining that, hey, you know what? I was wrong to do what I did yesterday, and I actually do need to apologize to Liz. You know, I was fully projecting my own stuff and it just wasn't fair. That is somebody saying, you know what, okay, I'm holding myself accountable. But somebody that goes, yeah, but you know, obviously in the past, this person's done that to me and that person to me. So I've decided not to take anything for anybody. But in that conversation, but in that whole rant, there's no explanation of, but I'm sorry. but I'm going to apologize. Sophie will never ever be reality ready, we're being honest.
Now, listen to how I'm feeling, don't just dismiss it.
That's why you're not drinking.
She talks about don't dismiss how I'm feeling, but yet she completely dismissed Liz.
You know what? I knew there was a reason.
Nobody knows. Nobody in the world knows.
Why?
In Russia, it's traditional. We can't tell them before first trimester.
So this little bit here, I just wanted to add it in because the thing that I found interesting here is that Sophie was basically the first person to find out pretty much about Judith's pregnancy. Remember the whole storyline of nobody knowing until the end, until the tell or whatever. So I'm just curious, did Brandon actually know that Sophie knew this whole time? Because remember, Brandon's parents wasn't allowed to know. She made sure that nobody was allowed to know. So I'm just curious, did Brandon ever know that Sophie actually knew before his parents? Like, Judith's just such a messy person. I still can't figure out why she's even on this trip while she's pregnant. Actually, to be fair, forget the pregnancy. I just don't know why she's on a singles trip when she's married. That's the part I can't process that. Why are you on a singles trip while you're a married woman? Let's make that make sense. Anyway, please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section and we can talk about it. But like I said before, please do hype the video on your way out. Subscribe, like the video as well, and comment down below. Thank you.